Children, welcome back. Today, Sairam children, welcome back. Today we will be moving ahead with our next lesson of English. Okay, we've already completed 3.5. Now we'll be going ahead with 3.6. Now what is are we going to learn about it in 3.6? Let's see. First we'll go through this warming up. Pair up with your partners and ask and answer the following questions. Do you like music? Depends on your personal choice whether you like music or you don't like music, but I love music. What does a concert mean? Have you ever attended any live concert? Have you seen a concert on television? Whose concert would you love to attend? So these questions, your answers will be depend on your personal choices. Yes. So whether you have attended a live concert or no, or whether you've seen it on the television, and if you have not attended a live concert, would you like to attend anyone? So these you can answer according to your own choices. Now look at the second one. Look at the web diagram given below and study the traits of a good concert. So what traits, what qualities a good concert needs? So 10 essential leadership qualities of a concert: professionalism, patience, respectfulness, an open mind, big picture view, ability to entrust responsibility to the right person, strong and effective communication, decisiveness, self awareness, motivator. So these are the 10 essential leadership qualities of a concert. Concert, yes, it is for amusement, for our entertainment, but other than that, we may or we have to learn certain traits, certain qualities from a concert, and these 10 are some of them. Okay, so we'll go ahead. First, we'll finish the frame sentences. First word, indulge. The museum is an excellent place for children to indulge their curiosity about history. Then we have the second one, plaintive. The news of the death of her uncle left her in a plaintive condition. Plaintive means with unhappy or a sad condition. So the news of the death of her uncle left her in a plaintive condition. Next, applause. There was a great applause when the speaker was about to start her speech. You cheer for someone. Yes, so that is applause. There was a great applause when the speaker was about to start her speech. Maestro. Yes, Zakir Hussain is a musical maestro from India. Yes, one who is very good at it. Yes, you can say an expert in that, maestro. So Zakir Hussain, the famous Indian tabla player, is a musical maestro from India. Fine. So that is what we have in frame sentences. Now let's go ahead with our lesson 3.6, the concert. Shanta Rao, which was born in 1930 and died in 2007, was a notable dancer from India. She was exponent of Bharatanatyam and also studied Kathakali and Kuchipudi. She was recipient of Padma Shri and Sangeet Natak Academy Award from and Kalidas Samman for music, dance and drama. This is a true story, but all the names except Pandit Ravi Shankar's and Ustad Allah Rakhas have been changed. So we have two musical maestros in this lesson. So Pandit Ravi Shankar and Ustad Allah Rakha over here. So it's a true story, but the names have been changed. Now let's see. This is Shanta Rao, the notable dancer, Bharatanatyam, Kathakali and Kuchipudi. Okay, let's begin. One morning in a small apartment in Bombay, a girl of about 16 looked up from the newspaper and said excitedly, Pandit Ravi Shankar's playing tomorrow at the Shanmukhanand Auditorium. Shh, shh, said her mother, pointing to the figure sleeping on the bed. You'll wake him up. You know he needs all the sleep and rest he can. But the boy on the bed was not asleep. Pandit Ravi Shankar, he said. Pandit Ravi Shankar, the sitar maestro. He raised himself upon his elbows for 1 second, then fell back. But his eyes were shining. We must not miss the chance, he said. I have always wanted to hear him and see him. So over here the scene is like where it is a small apartment in Bombay. A girl in about 16, she's reading newspaper. She reads about a concert about Pandit Ravi Shankar at Chanmukhanand Hall, and her brother, yes, the boy over there, his brother, he hears her and he's also excited. Yes, because he loves music, he likes music, but he is sick. His mother's telling not to telling the girl not to wake him by making noise. Yes, so he should be no, take the sleep which is very much needed. But however, he hears it and he gets very excited, and he's out of excitement that he's telling that this is a chance which we not should not miss. Yes, and he also said that it was his dream, it was his wish that he always wanted to hear him and see him. Lie down, son, lie down. His mother sprang to his side. He actually raised himself up without help. She murmured with a catch in her throat and eyes turned to the idols of a corner shelf. The prayer which she uttered endlessly came unbidden to her lips. I must hear him and see him, the boy repeated. It's the chance of a lifetime. Then he began to cough and gasp for breath and had to be given oxygen from the cylinder that stood under the bed. But his large eyes were fixed on his sister. So, out of excitement, he gets up, but he again falls back. And then his mother helps him, telling him to lie down. And she is sad because of his unhealthy condition. And she prays, and he's telling that this I must hear. He's telling that what he wants. He's telling, I must hear him and see him. This is a chance of a lifetime, not to be missed. Okay. And then while saying this, he gasps for breath and starts coughing, and then he's being provided with oxygen. So it seems that he is seriously ill. But while taking the oxygen also, his eyes is fixed on his sister. He is, some anticipation is there in his eyes that what his sister will do next. Smita bit her lip in self reproach. She had been so excited at seeing the announcement that she had not remembered that her brother was very ill. So, the girl which we were talking about, the 16-year-old girl, is Smita. She had seen how the doctors had shaken their heads gravely and spoken words that neither she nor even her parents could understand. But somewhere deep inside, Smita had known the frightening truth that Anant was going to die. The word cancer had hung in the air. Her brother was dying of cancer, even though she pretended that all would be well and they would return together, a small family of four, to their home in Gagan. And he was only 15 and the best table tennis player in the school and the fastest runner. He was learning to play the sitar. They were both taking sitar lessons, but Anant was better than her as in many other things. He was already able to compose his own tunes to the astonishment of their guru. Then cancer had struck and they had come to Bombay so that he could be treated at the cancer hospital in the city. So, whe- when all these things going on, Smita bit her lip in self reproach at what she had done. Why she just forgot that out of excitement that a brother was very ill, seriously ill, and the doctors had also given up, and was telling that he had very less days and Anand was going to die. The boy is Anand and the sister is Smita because he was suffering from cancer. He was dying of cancer, even though she pretended that no, she pretended that everything would be going on smoothly and they would return to their home in Gaganpur. And he was only 15 and the best table tennis player in the school, the fastest runner. He also learned taking sitar classes, both of them, but he was very good. He started composing his own tunes to the astonishment of the gurus. Even his guru was surprised as to how this child learned to compose tunes. But unfortunately, cancer had struck him, and they had to come down to Bombay to get him treated at the cancer hospital in the city. Whenever they came to Bombay, they stayed with Aunt Sushila. Her apartment was not big, but there was always room for them. They had come with high hopes in the miracles of modern science. They told themselves that Anand would be cured at the hospital and he would again walk and run and even take part in the forthcoming table tennis tournament. And he would play the sitar, perhaps be a great sitarist one day. But his condition grew worse with each passing day, and the doctors at the cancer hospital said, take him home. Give him the thing he likes. Indulge him. and they knew then that the boy had not many days to live. But they did not voice their fears. They laughed and smiled and talked and surrounded Anand with whatever made him happy. They fulfilled his every need and gave him whatever he asked for. And now he was asking to go to the concert, the chance of a lifetime, he was saying. When you are better, his mother said, this is not the last time they are going to play. Okay, so when they are in Mumbai, that time it was called as Bombay. They're staying at Aunt Sushila's house. Her apartment is not big, but there was room for them to stay over there. Fine. So they had high hopes that when they come to Bombay, they had high hopes in the miracles of modern science, and they had hopes that he could be cured and would run and walk again, and even take part in the table tennis tournament, and also become a sitarist one day. But his condition was worsening with each passing day, and the doctors had also told them to take him home, give him whatever he likes, help him, make him be happy. So the family members also did, though they were disheartened because of his because they knew that he had very few days left for him to live, but they laughed, they smiled, and they surrounded him with happiness, and they did not dare to voice their fears. They did not want to show that they are sad. They made every possible way to make Anand happy. But this thing where he wanted to meet Pandit Ravi Shankar, which was saying was a chance of a lifetime, his mother said that when you are better, when you get better, you will get to meet him. This is not the last time that they are going to play. Next time when they play, when you get better, we will definitely go and see them. Smita stood at the window looking at the traffic, her eyes wet with tears. Her mother whispered, but you, Smita, you must go. Your father will take you. When she was alone with Aunt Sushila, Smita cried out in a choked voice, no, how can I? We've always done things together, Anant and I. A walk in the park might make you feel better, said Aunt Sushila, and Smita was grateful for her suggestion. In the park, people were walking, running, playing ball, doing yogic exercises, feeding the ducks, and eating roasted gram and peanuts. Smita felt alone in the mist. She was lost in her thoughts. Okay, now Smita, she was looking out of the window and there were tears in her eyes. So her mother told her that you can go, you can go with your father. But then she when she was alone with Aunt Sushila telling her, how can I go? She was crying. How can I go? Whatever we had done together. Me and my brother, both of us had done together. So Aunt Sushila wanted to comfort her. So she told her, why not go to the park? And then both of them go to the park, but still Smita is lost in her thoughts. She is not at all, so many things are happening around her. She's not paying attention to her. But why? Because she was lost in her thoughts as to how her, how she could help her brother go and watch Pandit Ravi Shankar. Suddenly, a daring thought came to her, and as she hurried home, she said to herself, "Why not? There's no harm in trying." Okay, so got the confidence that yes, I should do something for my brother. It would be nice to go to the concert. I don't know when we'll get another opportunity to hear Pandit Ravi Shankar, she said to her mother later, and her father agreed to get the tickets. So she told that it will next time whether it will be possible to go. It's not, we are not sure, so we will go to the concert this time. The next day, as Smita and her father were leaving for the concert, her brother smiled and said, enjoy yourself. Though the words came out in painful gasps, lucky you. So, a brother is telling, go enjoy. You are very lucky that you're getting a chance to go and watch the maestro over here. Sitting beside her father in the gallery, Smita heard, as in a dream, the thundering welcome the audience gave the great master. Then the first notes came over the air, and Smita felt as if the gates of a land of enchantment and wonder were opening. Spellbound, she listened to the unfolding ragas, the slow, plaintive notes, the fast twinkling ones, but all the while the plan she has decided on the evening before remained firmly in her mind. The chance of a lifetime, she heard Anand's voice in every beat of the tabla. The concert came to an end. The audience gave the artists a standing ovation. A large mustachioed, having a long mustache man made a long, boring speech. Then came the presentation of bouquets, then more applause, and the curtain came down. The people began to move towards the exit. So Smita and her dad, they go to for the concert, and she is, caught in the enchantment of the music over there, but still there in her conscious mind she had that feeling, I should do something for my brother to meet Pandit Ravi Shankar, because he thought that it was a chance of a lifetime. She could hear these words of Anand which he had said in every beat of the tabla. So she's waiting for everything to get over so that she could go and meet Pandit Ravi Shankar. So over there, again, according to it, was a long, boring speech given by the large mustachioed man. Then the presentation of bouquet, and then the curtain came down, and two people started leaving the auditorium. Now was the time. Smita wriggled her way through the crowds towards the stage. Then she went up the steps that led to the wings, her heart beating loudly. In the wings, a small crowd had gathered to talk about the evening concert, to help carry bouquets and teacups and instruments. He was there, standing with the man who played the tabla for him and great wizard of music, Ustad Allah Rakha. Her knees felt weak, her tongue dry, but she went up and standing before them, her hands folded. Oh, sir, she burst out. Okay, so when the concert was over, she went towards the stage, and she saw many people standing over there helping the artist to take care of the bouquets, and she wriggled her way when she called out to Pandit Ravi Shankar, oh sir, because she was so desperate to get a chance for a brother to meet Pandit Ravi Shankar. Yes, he asked questioningly, but kindly, and her story came pouring out. The story of a brother who lay sick at home, and of how he longed to hear him and the Ustad play. Will you come to Aunt Sushila's house and play for him? She asked at the end breathlessly. Please, she begged, please come. Little girl, said the mustachioed man who had made the long speech, Panditji is a busy man. You must not bother him with such requests. But Pandit Ravi Shankar smiled and motioned him to be quiet. He turned to Ustad Sahib and said, what shall we do, Ustad Sahib? So when she meets Pandit Ravi Shankar, she tells her story about how about her brother and his wish as well. So she also asked him, will you come to Aunt Sushila's home and play music for him? And she's also begging, she's requesting them. Then the mustachioed man is telling that you should not make such request to Panditji because he's a busy man. Pandit Ravi Shankar, on the other hand, to motion him to be quiet, and then he asked Ustad Sahib as to what is to be done. Okay, children, so over here you can see the picture. This is Pandit Ravi Shankar over here. This is Pandit Ravi Shankar, and over here we have Ustad Allah Rakha, the tabla player, and Pandit Ravi Shankar, the great sitarist. Okay, let's go ahead. The Ustad moved the wad of pan from one cheek to another. Tomorrow morning we perform for the boy. Yes, he said. Yes, Panditji replied. It is settled then. It was a very excited Smita who came home late that night. Anant was awake, breathing the oxygen from the cylinder. Did you hear him? He whispered. I did, she replied, and I spoke to him, and he'll come tomorrow morning with the tabla ustad and they'll play for you. And the following morning, Aunt Sushila's neighbors saw two men get out of a taxi which pulled up outside their block. They could not believe their eyes. Is it? It's not possible, they said. Pandit Ravi Shankar and Ustad Allah Rakha went up the wooden staircase and knocked softly on the door of Aunt Sushila's apartment. They went in, sat down on the divan by the window, and played for the boy, surrounding him with a great and beautiful happiness as life went out of him gently, very gently. So Panditji agreed to perform for the boy after consulting Ustadji, and the next morning they went to perform for the boy. Smita came home very excited. Anant is asking him, did you hear him? And then she said, yes, I did hear him. And they are they have agreed to come tomorrow morning and play for you along with the tabla ustad. So the next morning, the neighbors of Aunt Sushila are surprised to see these people, this Ustad Allah Rakha and Pandit Ravi Shankar, going to Aunt Sushila's house. And these two people, they enter Aunt Sushila's house. They play for the boy, and while all this thing is happening, surrounding him with great, he's happy to hear Pandit Ravi Shankar, to meet Pandit Ravi Shankar and Ustad Allah Rakha, and we know that music which surrounded him with great and beautiful happiness. He was so happy. It might have been his last wish. Yes, as life went out of him gently, very gently. Means while all this thing they were playing music for him, he passed away gently. Yes, so that is what would have been his last wish, which was fulfilled, and he was so happy that he could rest in peace. So that is the lesson, the concert. The child did get a view chance to hear, watch the music rather than going to a concert, but to at his aunt's house. That's the lesson of the concert by Shanta Rao. Now we'll be going ahead with the English workshop. Who said to whom? We mustn't miss the chance. So we have to write who said to whom. The first one, the boy said to his mother and sister. Who's this boy? Anand. Next, this is not the last time they are going to play. Who is saying this? This mother is said this to Anand. A walk in the park might make her feel better. So this is Aunt Sushila said to Smita. Tomorrow morning we perform for the boy. Yes. And this is Ustad Sahib said to Pandit Ravi Shankar. Then read the following sentences and write which emotions are revealed from these sentences. First one, Pandit Ravi Shankar is playing tomorrow at Shanmukhananda Auditorium. So over here it is an excitement for the children over there. It's the chance of a lifetime. It's joy, anticipation also. Will you come to Aunt Sushila's house and play for him? Over here it is a sincere plea and entreaty. She's pleading. She's asking for no, she's requesting Pandit Ravi Shankar to come to his house. Did you hear him? So this is what curiosity. Anand was curious as to what Smita had heard. Is it? It's not possible. That is surprise and disbelief. Fine. Next, read the text carefully. You will find some words describing a particular speciality of the individual personalities in the text. Explain the meaning of the following words given in the table with reference to the particular personality mentioned in the text. So we have 3 columns over here: speciality, personality and explanation. And 4 people are mentioned, that is maestro, pandit, ustad, mustachio. So who is the maestro mentioned over here? Maestro is Pandit Ravi Shankar. And why it is being given explanation for that? It is the distinguished performer of classical music. Then again we have Pandit Ravi Shankar, a talented musician. Ustad, who's the Ustad? Ustad is Allah Rakha Khan, is expert table tabla player. Okay, Ustad Allah Rakha, expert tabla player. Then the mustachioed, the name is not mentioned in the text, so we'll write name is unknown. And a person having a large or bushy mustache. Who's a mustachioed? A person is having a large and bushy mustache. Let's go ahead. The story has 3 important characters: Anand, Smita, and Sushila. Go through the story again and complete the following table that highlights the special traits of character. You can put cross mark if the trait is not mentioned in the text. Okay. So strength is whether it's a strength of Smita or no. Yes. Because we have seen them, they are quite strong with their emotions. Weakness, yes, Smita was quite weak also. Your health, nothing is mentioned about Aunt Sushila. Dreams, it was Anand, nothing mentioned about Aunt Sushila, nor even Smita. Motivation, yes, even for Anand as well as for Aunt Sushila. Okay. Next, choose the appropriate adverb or adjective form to fill in the gaps. She spoke in an dash tone. So what will we be using over here? She spoke in an dash tone. So she spoke in an excited tone or she spoke in an excitedly tone. So we'll be using an adjective. So that is excited. Yes, so this is the answer which we'll choose, excited. Then Smita accepted the suggestion, grateful or gratefully? It is gratefully. Then they gave him whatever made him happy or happily? Happy. He ran very fast or fastly? That should be fast. He would become a dash sitarist someday, great or greatly? Great sitarist. Life went out of him, gentle or gently? Out of him, gently. Yes, so we have appropriate form of adverb and adjective is to be filled over here. Let's go to the next. Rewrite in indirect speech. Please, she begged him, please come. First one, she begged him repeatedly to come. So twice it is said, please, she begged him, please come. So she begged him repeatedly to come. Next, he said, what shall we do, Ustad Sahib? He asked the Ustad Sahib what they should do. Her brother said, enjoy yourself. He added, lucky you. Her brother told her to enjoy herself and then added that she was lucky. Fourth one, yes, Panditji replied. It's settled then. Tomorrow morning we shall perform for the boy. So the Panditji replied in affirmative and added that the matter was settled, and he also agreed to perform for the boy the following day. So this is rewrite in indirect speech that directs to indirect speech or the reported speech. Fine. Next. This is a homework for you children. You have to describe the condition of Smita when she was going towards the stage. Read the text again and complete the boxes given. One is done for you. So the heart was beating. Everything is mentioned in the lesson. And the whole story also revolves around Anant. Write a short paragraph on Anant. Take help of the following points to develop the paragraph. So where it's given how was his health, what disease was he suffering, what were his interests, what did he was good at, intense desire, wish, and fulfillment of desire or wish. A short paragraph on Anant is to be written. And next over here, one more homework. The text has a big collection of Indian words in it. Using words from another language in a write-up is called code mixing. Make a list of all the Indian words in table A and their meaning in table B. One is done for you. So one which is done is raga, piece of Indian classical music based on one of the 6 basic musical modes. So that is one which is there. There are other 8 also which you can find in the lesson. Ustad is there, Panditji is there. All this you have to write the meaning also. This code mixing. We have learnt about the code mixing in our 1.2 lesson as well, the thief's story. We also had code mixing in that lesson. So it should be easy for you to do this exercise all by yourself. You just have to read the lesson. You will find it over there. Okay children. So I hope this lesson you found it interesting. Also learned something from this lesson, that though Anant was on the deathbed, he had not given up. He was a lively child. He wanted to fulfill his dream, and at the end his dream was fulfilled, and then he breathed his last peacefully. So that is a beautiful story of the concert by Shanta Rao. Okay, so complete your homework, do the homework, and keep it ready. And we'll be meeting next time with a new lesson. Till then, stay safe. Have a good day, children.